All right, before we go into the practical session for this training, I would just like to introduce us to the application we're going to be making use of, which is the PixelLab application. The link to download this application will be directly under this video, so you can download the application and you can just follow me as I walk you through the process. So you know this is a mobile design training. So I'm going to make use of a mobile application. This application works majorly on Android device. So if you're using an iOS device, you might want to learn Canva, right? Because this application is not it's not possible on the iOS, but if it's in an Android version, like an Android phone, it's going to work excellently, right? So the name of the application is PixelLab, and then I will just walk you through some of the icons, some of the tools, and so that you can get familiar with it. All right, but then note this: if you really want to master this tool, want to master the application well, then you should actually practice. I'm just going to be showing you what they do, what each of these icons do. But then if you want to really master it, then you should actually take out time and then practice these things. You can spend as many hours as you want to on the application just to get familiar with each of the icons, each of the tools, so you can master them. Right. So let's just get started. Now, the very first, let me just start from the top, this top part here. So you see this icon here, just like the plus icon. So this plus icon here is telling you you can add in anything. You can add in a new text, you can add in date, you can add in sticker, you can add in everything. So let's say we want to add in a new text. So you can see I've added a new text right here. Right, so you can add in anything you want. This second icon here is to save up your design. So if you're through with your design, you want to save it up, you can save as an image here. Just save to your gallery, right? And then you can also save it as a project. So if you're working on a design and you want to save it as a project, to somewhere, like you want to, I said to somewhere, you want to save it as a project on this application. Let's say you're working on a project and you know you might still come back to this project to correct some things, like maybe to change something. You just save it as a project like this. So let's say I want to save it as a project. Let me say I'll save this as beginners design course, right? Okay, so I've saved it as a project. If I want to come back to this particular design, I will just come back to it. I'll show you how you can come back to it, right? So then the next thing is this, which is this icon here is to share, right? This icon here is to get quotes. And then this icon here is where you can see a lot of things. You can use image from gallery here. If you want to use an image from your gallery, you can use an image like this from your gallery, you get? So you can also come here, you can use your full screen. You can use image from camera also, right? You can also export an image, yeah? You can do a lot of things. Then this is where you can also recover autosave. So if I want to go back to what I did before, I can just come here and recover autosave. You can see that. And also I can open PLP file. So this PLP file, you know what we saved here as a project, we can come here to check it out. So PLP file. So you can see the BDC right here. So I can enable it back and then I have it here, right? So then okay, that's going to be all for that. And this icon here is an undo icon. So let's say I type in something here and then I want to undo. I just come here to undo it. You can see that. Why this icon here is for volume. Volume, that's zoom. Zoom. And then this icon here is your line. Use it to, if you want to draw in a new line. This works very well for your alignment. So let's say you want to align something to the left or to the right like this. You can just use this line, like align to the left like this. And then if you want to place in any of your elements, you can just start placing your elements like here, somewhere. I already talked about alignment in the principles. So let's say we want to put something like this. You want to put another one again. You can just put it right here. So it's just to allow you to know where your alignment should start from. So let's delete that. All right. And then we have the next one, which is this one. So let's say we have something like this. This icon here is to take you back to everything you've been doing. So if you have been putting a lot of elements on your design, let's put in one more element here, and you want to go back to check it, you can just click on this icon here. You can see every of the elements here. You can see them here, right? So if you want to lock them, you can lock them up so you won't be moving them again. Then you can also hide them like this. You can hide them. If you hide them, you see it, I've hidden it. I can also put it back. I can also delete it if I want to. And then this icon is to we'll come back to all of this. All right, so then the next thing, let me just delete every of these, or let me just delete them. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing I have here is, this is my project here where we went to before. Then these are backgrounds. You can actually use any background you want to use. Although I would not really advise you to use any of this background. So let's just come here. All right, so let's just use this. Now, so the very first icon here, this A is for your text and for your font. So if you want to add in a new text information, on this particular design, you just come here, click on this plus icon, and then you can see edit. You just edit and type in anything you want. So let's say we're typing in beginners design course like this. Very, 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 very nice. So let's say we're typing something like this inside. Now this icon, as I said, you can see it is delete, right? So delete. Why this one is to copy. I can copy it. Let me delete it again. And then this one is to front and to back. So you can take an element to the front, you can also bring it to the back. Let me show you how that works. So let's say we have this icon here, this shape, I mean. So let's say we have it here like this. Now, when we come back to this our front place, you can bring it to the front. You can see, you can also take it to the back, to the front and to the back. So that's how it works, right? You get that now. So let's just come back to this front. So you can see the position here. I can change the position of my elements. If I want it to move faster, I can move it up like this. So it's going to move faster also. You can see that. That's for that. And then relative position is to bring it to a particular position. So if I want this to be in the center, I just come here, tap on this place, center. If I want it to also be in the center of the horizontal, also like this, I can also bring it here like this, any way I want it to be. So it's just to bring it to the relative positions. Okay. Why this is your text padding. So before I talk about text padding, you see this icon here. Let me zoom in properly. You see this icon here, this one here. This icon here is to actually help you to change, to move your text, like this. You get that? Why this one here? This one here is to help you to reduce and increase the size. So that's for that. Okay, so let's go into the next one, which is size. Okay, I think I'm at size now. So you can increase the size and reduce the size any way you want it. This is text padding. You can change the padding of your text like this. Okay, and then this is color. You can also add in a new color. You know, the color that comes with whenever you create a new text, the color that comes is not always a black color. So this is the black color. You can see the difference. This is the previous color and this is the black color. So you can change your color to any color you want. You can see any color you want. Now this plus icon here is for you to add in a new color. So if you click on this plus icon, you can do two things. You can select any color you want from here. You can also add in a color code. So if you have a color code, you can add it in. Like this is the color code for black. You can just add it in. You can see that's the black color. And then if you can also select color from an image. So let me just get an image so you can get this properly. So let me get an image like this. So I just come to color, click on this plus icon. So I'm going to select on this particular part, select on it, and then I'll just select on this new image, and then I'll just choose a color. So let's say I'm choosing this green color from this grass. I'll click on OK here, click on the OK here also, and then you can see it has changed the color. If I also want to change the color to also the blue color here, I'll do the same thing. OK here and OK here. You can see that. So I'll just tap on the screen anywhere I want on the screen, tap it, and then I'll get the color I want to. You get. If I want to choose this white color also, you can see as I'm doing it, it's affecting the color here. You can see it's affecting the color at this top part. Yeah, so let me say I'm choosing this white color. You can see. So you can see the white color. You can't see anything again. All right. So that's for that. Delete it. All right, so then this is, okay, one other thing I would explain here. If you come here, you can see selection here, So I can also select a particular part of this thing to show. You can see that, a particular part of it. Okay, so this is texture. I can also add texture to my text. I can add texture to my text if I want to. Let me see. Okay, so let's say I want to use this texture, this cloth. I want to use the color of this cloth. I just click on, you can see it has changed the texture. You can see it has changed that. So let's remove that. Okay, so then this is opacity to reduce the intensity, and this is rotate. You know these ones. I guess you should. Why this is mask? Okay, so mask. If you want to hide off a particular part of your design or of your elements, you can just use mask. So I can just come here and use mask like this. Okay. All right. So you might not really need to use this if you're just getting started. And then we have this. This is our font AB. That is font. You know, we already talked about fonts, so we know a lot of different kind of fonts. So let me just select one font that I can use here. Let me just select, or let me go to my fonts. I'll show you how you can get fonts, so it's going to be easy for you. All right, so let's say I use this kind of fonts. This is nice. Okay, so this is font. So I'll share a video with you on how you can download fonts by yourself and how you can install it on your on your pixel app. And this is style. So style, you can add any style. You can use italics, you can put underline, and then this one here, you can just remove it. And you can also highlight a particular thing you want on a particular, you can see that. All right. So then we have the next one, which is, this is curve. So let me do something here. Let me say this is a straight design like this. Change the color to just one color black. Now, if I come here to this curve, I can rotate it like this. You can see I'm giving it a curve. It's good for whenever you want to create some kind of logos. I don't even know this kind of logos. You can just do something like this. It makes sense. All right, so let's just go back to what we had before. Okay, so the next thing is we have our text background here. You can also add the text background if you want. Add the text background like this. And then align. You can also align. You can see this one here is aligned to this side. It's aligned to this side like this. I can align to the center also. I can also align to this side. So let's just leave it at this side. Then this is our spacing. I can add spacing. I can add spacing like this. I can also add line spacing like this. Depends on, for example, if you look at this font, it's too close to each other. So I'll just add a little bit of space like this, like that. And then for this one also, I can reduce this. You can see that. So that's for that. And then stroke, I can also add stroke to my design. I can add stroke to my text like this. I can add stroke. You can see I can add stroke, and I can also remove it. So I advise not to use this stroke anyways. I advise not to use it because if you're not very good at it, you might not be able to use it properly. And then we have shadows. So you can also add shadow also. You can see the shadow is too much. So I'll just reduce this shadow like this. Opacity. You can see the name here, opacity. You do shadow to something like this. Let's say 10. All right. So you can see that. And then we have inner shadow also. You can add an inner shadow also. You can see the inner shadow. Okay. So for this inner shadow emboss also, well, this every of these ones here, I would advise you not to really touch them if you're just getting started. Look at the perspective. You can see. If you're not very good at this, you might destroy your designs instead of even making them nice. So you want to make sure you're very good at all of these before you can start using them. Okay, you can see this is also the 3D. Okay, and then we have the 3D shadow, and then we have these ones also, right? Okay, so I would advise you from this stroke, from this shadow down to this place, I'll advise you not to touch them, not to use them at all, right? Not to use them at all. If you're not very good at these things, you might destroy your designs. You might end up creating a very terrible designs instead of even creating a good designs. And you might think you're even doing something nice, but then you might just destroy your design. Because I imagine when you use something like this on your design, like nobody can even see what you're saying. Like, can you see that? So if you're not very good at this, I would advise you not to. The same thing with if you use this one also, it's not even having any meaning. And then imagine use this one also, it's just spoiling your design, right? Especially if you're not very good. And then you can see the look at this one also. Like, what's the meaning of this? If you're not very good, just leave it. And then this also, like, what's the essence of having a shadow under your heading? Like, it doesn't have any meaning, right? And then this also, there's no meaning of all this. So I would just advise you to just leave every of these parts, like from this shadow. It's not like I actually use them, but that's because of I have learned a lot, and then I'm actually a lot good at graphic design, so I can actually use them. But if you're just starting out, you can just keep all of these and then just focus on these particular ones, right? Okay, so let's just proceed somewhere here, please. Right, let's now go into this particular folder. So you can see this is the folder for font. This is the folder for your shapes, your images, and every of other elements. Now, for this first one here, this is where you can get your stickers. You can see you can get any sticker you want from here. Any sticker you want. Any sticker at all you want to use from here. Okay, so let's just delete that. I don't need that. And then this is import. In import, you can import anything you want. I used it the other time. So I can import an image like this here. Well, let's get another image. I think I've used that image so much. Let me come here. Where is it? Okay, yes, let me use this. I'm looking for a particular image here. Okay. Yeah, so let's say we use something like this. Cool. Okay, let's say use something. So I want to import something like this. I imported it already, so all right. So let's say we want to put something like this. Yeah, so this is an image. So now you can see I can delete it. This is delete. I can delete it. I can reselect another image. If I don't like this image, I can go back here and reselect another one. But I like it, so I'll leave it alone. I can also crop it. Yeah, I can crop it if I want to. I just come here and crop it like this. You can see that, but I'm not cropping. I leave it like that. I can bring it to the front. You know what this one's already. You know every of these. This is your size. This is color. I don't need to change color of this guy now. I can also add texture. This is everything we saw in the previous one. Why this is color filter? Yeah, this is your color filter. Use this to enhance your image. For example, this image is very good, so I don't really need to touch it. But then let me just show you how it works. So this HUE means color. You can change the color of this guy. You can see that it's really not necessary. This is saturation to make him look more colorful. Why this is brightness to increase the brightness. I think I'll just add a little bit of brightness to this guy. Let me see, something like this. And then this is contrast also to make it look more nice. All right, so that's for that. Now this is stroke. We know I taught you about stroke already previously. You can see what it does. Why this is eraser right here. So eraser can also help you to remove, to erase the color, erase your, like some things like this. You can see I'm erasing some of the bag parts. I'm erasing it already. You can see it. So let me see if I can erase it nicely. Okay, good. So you can see I've completely erased the bag. Wow, that's nice. So I just undo it. I have it back here. I'm using this to undo. You know that now. All right. So what else? What else? What else? Eraser. Okay, this is mask. I showed you about mask the other time. This is color, right? So I would come back to this erase color so you can get it properly. Then this is rotate. Okay, every other one here, I think we know that already. So let me just delete this guy. I want to explain the erase color. Let me see if I have any design that can work on this. Okay, let's do something like this. Let's do something like this. Now, if I want to, if I let me come to this erase color to show you how it works. So if I tap on erase color and I enable it, automatically the white color is going to remove. Let me use a black background so you get it. Like once I enable it like this, the black color, you can see that the white color on this design has removed, as erased like automatically. So that's for that. But if I want to now remove this blue color, I will tap on this icon here, and then I will use my cursor to choose the blue color. Tap on OK. You can see now it has removed the blue color for me. You can see that I now have only this white color. So you can see what it does. So it helps you to remove color. If I also want to remove the white color now, I just come here, then tap OK. You can see that's also removed that already for me. Okay, so let me come back to my white here. All right, so I think, okay, we talked about that. So this is draw. You can also draw something else. And then this is shape. You can also add a new shape if you want. You can tap on this icon here to change your shape. Choose a circle shape. Yeah, you can choose a circle shape like this. You can change the color to black and then do any other thing you want to do with it. All right, so this is your Bezier tool. Yeah, this tool, I would not really recommend you to start using this tool, right? Because it's quite hard for you to really master. But in the next course, we'll be talking about this in the next course. This is the beginner's course, so I don't want to really overwhelm you with a lot of stuff. But in the next course, which will be the next advanced course, you would learn how to do that well. Same thing with the arrow icon also. The arrow icons also, yeah, it's actually cool. But then you can easily just download an arrow image from Google instead of stressing yourself over all this. All right, so that's for this. Then we come here. This is where we have our background. Let me just hide this off. This color, this icon here, this space here is where we have our background. So I can change the color of my background to something like this or something like this. Click on OK. This is transparent. You can see it's transparent. Why this is my size, I can come here to change my size. So my width, I can change to 1400 and my height 1200. So you can see the difference. You can see the difference. If I also want to choose a specific this thing I can use, for example, if I want to create a YouTube channel banner, I can use this particular size. You can see that. So I can change any size I want. Okay, and then this is image. You can get image from PixelLab if you want to use any image from PixelLab. Let me select this image. You can see that. I can also select an image from my gallery. So let me choose this image from my gallery. Let me choose this kind of image. Okay, so I just come here, this icon one by one. Click on OK. So you can see that I've given me a different icon. All right, so that's for that. And then I'll just come to the last one here. So the last one is where I can add in effects. So this is vignette. This first one here is to rotate. Why this one is to add some kind of shadows to the edges. You can see that. Okay. Why this is noise. It's just going to add in a little bit of noise effect to the design. Why this is stripes. You can see stripes. Adding a little bit of stripes to it. Okay. And then these are your color, your effects, like your brightness. I explained this already inside of the color filter. So you can see, you can really see every of these tools and how each of them work. So this is just basic introduction into the PixelLab application, and I'm sure you are able to really understand how it works properly now. So in the next video, we'll go into creating some very simple social media flyers. Have an amazing time.